If the world would shut up when they didn't know what they're talking about, the world would be a better place. In this case, when it comes to training and working out, I actually happen to know what I'm talking about.
Because I lied, and I misled a lot of people.
Friends, Brian here for Yes You Can Play Guitar. Do not believe the rumors, my friend. I am not dead. I will be someday, but not on this day. Guys, I would be totally remiss if I did not acknowledge and talk about the Liver King.
Because I lied, and I misled a lot of people.
Now, for many of you out there, might be saying, dude, this is like a music geek kind of channel. What are we doing here? Well, wise man once told me, he said, if the world would shut up when they didn't know what they're talking about, the world would be a better place. In this case, when it comes to training and working out, I actually happen to know what I'm talking about. See, look at that drive. When I took my break from music, when I had my burnout a number of years ago, I actually, in my mid to late 40s, was deadlifting over 700 pounds, and I was a sponsored athlete by multiple companies. I know what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't know who the Liver King is, and maybe have been living under a rock for the past week, like me, the Liver King was a gentleman who kind of came out of nowhere. Apparently he was already independently wealthy. He has his own supplement companies. And he kind of came out of nowhere about a year and a half ago. And he had this, it was like a gimmick. You know, he had the big beard. He had this caveman way of living with the crazy training, promoting eating a lot of raw meat like liver and bull testicles, living the, 17 ancestral tenets of, eating pancreases and then eating, like it was, guys, I've been around. I know about steroids. I know about supplements. I know about training. At that time, I thought, oh, just another guy trying to sell something, which he was. He's the owner of several supplement companies. Apparently he was already wealthy, but then I just knew eventually he's going to get caught. The thing is, the world is so ignorant and uneducated. Is it really my place to educate the world on this? No, but you know what? I'm going to educate some of my friends. First off, for people that are in the know, okay? We live in this crazy, uneducated world of people that want to believe all these fairy tales about different things. They want to believe that their favorite actors and actresses in movies don't take anything to get into shape to look the way they do. And people just have all these twisted perspectives on things. Number one, to carry on about the Liver King, he got caught. Some emails came out recently, about over a year ago, where he was contacting different bodybuilding coaches about what drugs he was using. It was supposed to be confidential, and it all came out. Now, the Liver King, in one sense, he did the right thing. He went right to going to the truth. He posted a video saying that he lied, okay? But for the past year and a half, he'd be on all these different podcasts. He had intent to go from nobody behind the scenes to being he wanted to be a very well-known social figure, and he went from nowhere to having 1.7 million followers on Instagram. And then it came out he lied. As all of us in the know, we all knew it would come around and he would get exposed eventually. Now, for taking steroids, is that a bad thing? Well, a lot of people that just don't understand. The world is so crazy and uneducated with that. I've known people with really bad drug habits who are really bad people, but then would scoff at someone and say, oh, but they take steroids, meaning it's okay for me to have a cocaine habit, it's okay for me to not be a good person, it's okay for me to... But that person takes steroids, so they're automatically bad. I remember one time a friend of mine at the gym, something came up about steroids years ago, and she said, well, that's cheating. Well... you're in your late 40s and you're trying to work out and lose weight and get in better shape. Like, I don't always subscribe to conspiracy theories, but I will tell you this. The problem with the Liver King is that he was trying to sell something, right? So some of your favorite movie stars who might be natural, who might not be natural, but they're probably not natural, they still have to train really hard. They still have to eat really good and put in a lot of work. I remember recently being at the gym and a young lad was there, a very naive young guy said to me, he said, I don't think Arnold took steroids because that would be bad and that would be cheating. I'm like, how is it cheating in the sport that he was doing when everyone was taking it? And I also said to him, I said, people think that you just take something and you turn into this huge monster. So many people that are armchair quarterbacks and couch surfers just sit there and like to criticize and go on and on about things that they know nothing about. I told him, I said, my friend, go ahead, take steroids. You will never have 22-inch arms the way Arnold did. As in my past, I have had many people who have been taking crazy amounts of drugs would say to me, how do I get a deadlift like yours? And I'd have to say, you're just never going to have it. You just don't have the genetics to have that kind of a deadlift. If taking drugs made it that easy, people would be deadlifting over 700 pounds all over gyms very frequently all over the world. So the problem also is lack of education. We knew that the Liver King was going to get caught. It was going to be exposed. He was trying to sell something. For people that just want to look good and feel a little better, the problem is when people are younger, for a lot of men, as they get older, getting on in their 30s, into their 40s, into their 50s, due to being overweight, due to stress, due to not exercising, they have testosterone issues due to the pollution in the world. It affects our testosterone levels. In my personal opinion, men with medical needs should be on testosterone when they're over 40. When you hear about people who, you'll hear all the time about these men that kill themselves. And people are like, I don't know what was going on. He had a pretty good job. He had a nice house. His wife seemed nice. His kids seemed nice. I always think, let's look at his testosterone levels. What were his testosterone levels like? Because when your testosterone levels are low, you're going to be depressed. You're going to have no energy and you're going to feel like crap no matter what. Also, again, I don't always subscribe to conspiracy theories, but I will say this. Because there's so much confusion and crazy laws about testosterone, right? Testosterone's very cheap. For a lot of men, if they went on it, and some women, as they got older, they would feel a lot better, function a lot better, and just live a better quality of life. But for a lot of pharmaceutical companies, they don't make money on testosterone. It's very cheap, very easy to make. You know, a lot of times, and I've seen this firsthand with a lot of friends who get into their 40s and they're trying to work out and get in better shape, and they're like, yeah, like I don't feel good. Well, doctors always seem to want to get them on the, erectile difficulty drugs, to get them on statin drugs, to get them on antidepressants, to get them on all these different things rather than treat the symptom. Now, so where does this leave the Liver King? I never took him seriously. I thought he was funny. I got a kick out of some of his videos and the craziness of it. I never had any desire to eat raw meat, to eat bull's testicles, to eat raw liver. I just thought the whole thing was crazy, but he was very funny and entertaining. But we all knew he was going to get caught. So when this came out a few days ago, I was not surprised. And people, you got to get a bit more educated and smarten up when it comes to the whole steroid thing. It's the craziest stuff. I hear the craziest stuff from people. And it's like, guys, people are just so naive about the world we live in. For people who take them, if you don't know someone and you're taking them and someone comes up and says, hey, do you take this? Is it really your business? Is it really their business? Do you really owe it to that person to tell them? Just say, mind your own business. The problem happens is when you're trying to sell something. And what the Liver King did really was the oldest trick in the book. I remember in the 80s getting into working out, flipping through magazines like Muscle and Fitness, Muscle Mag International, and going and Flex magazine and going, wow, well, this person takes this supplement. Well, I need to take that supplement to look like this person. And then as you get older and a little bit wiser, you start to realize, wait, There's something more going on here. To make a long story short, everyone was talking about the Liver King. Even PewDiePie made a video about the Liver King. PewDiePie. Now, I don't know what the PewDiePie's training regimen's like or anything, but I got a kick out of that. I'm just telling people, guys, come on. Be a bit more educated. Be smarter. And even Joe Rogan was up front and said, there's no way the guy's natural. And now that he's come out and he's done his big apology video, Joe Rogan is laughing his ass off.
Finals, I'm making this video to apologize.
Now, for the Liver King's credit, he got right to the truth in the apology. Because sometimes if we just get to the truth instead of putting it off, you know, the denying worse than the actual event. But again, it comes down to the problem being he was trying to sell something. It's my take on it. I always got a kick out of the Liver King. I never took him seriously. For those people that he lied to directly, who actually believed him, no. Now, the human body is capable of doing some incredible things, but when you see someone in their 40s who's that strong, that well built, always walking around at sub 10% body fat year round, and can train twice a day, you gotta know something's up. Anyways, guys, that is my take on the Liver King. Hopefully that gave you a bit of knowledge. We won't get into some of your favorite actors and actresses and movie roles. Maybe they play superheroes or other things and you want to believe that they don't take anything. It doesn't mean that they don't work their ass off, that they don't work hard, but come on. Got to be smarter. All right. Hope that helps. Remember, practice hard, practice smart. We'll see you soon.